The three most important parts of trading. Wisdom from a 13-year-old. This is Bill Scheid from the Systems Lab, and that's the topic we're going to cover in this video. The other day I asked my 13-year-old son what he thought the three most important parts of trading were. It's interesting to ask him that question because he's grown up around this world. When he was 2, he was sitting in the back of workshops with Dr. Ken Long that I was attending to. He recently asked me to give him a simplified version of Dr. Van Tharp's Peak Performance 101. And of course, he's been listening to me talk systems and markets and psychology for years. So I was really interested to see what would he distill from all of that. And here's what he told me. Number 1, avoid the loss trap. If you're not familiar with the loss trap, it's the situation you get in where you have a small loss, but you are afraid to take losses because you think that losing is not a part of winning, which it actually is. And so instead of taking a small loss, you sit there and you watch your small loss grow to a medium-sized loss. And now you definitely don't want to take a medium-sized loss, so you sit there and watch it grow to become a huge loss, which you are eventually forced to take just because you didn't want to take a small loss. And of course, what this leads to is the idea that you end up letting your losers run and cutting your winners short, which of course is exactly the opposite formula for being successful as a trader. So that was my son's first point: avoid the loss trap. Number 2, do not over optimize. I was really thrilled when that one popped out of his mouth because, as we know, over optimizing a system looks really tempting when you're running back tests. But of course, when you go to trade that system in the real world, it's going to be a sore disappointment, right? Of course, our money is always made in the future. It's not made in the past. And the third one is never get in without knowing exactly where you will get out. And he said he particularly remembers that one because I had a trading teacher at one point, this was before I started studying with Van and Ken, who taught people not to trade with stops. And of course, that was a very expensive lesson for me to learn. Never get in without knowing exactly where you will get out. So honestly, you could build a whole trading career around just these 3 ideas. I know plenty of adults who way overcomplicate trading, but sometimes the clearest insights come from someone who's been soaking it in quietly for a decade and hasn't tried to overcomplicate it in the markets. I think you can't go wrong with these 3 points of wisdom right here. This is Bill Scheid from the Systems Lab. Thank you very much for watching, and happy trading.